Hi, you guys. So, welcome back to Being Becoming the podcast. I am one of your hosts, Micaiah, but I go by MB. And then we have our other co host here, Janelle. Whoop,
Hey, what's up, homies?
whoop. So, you guys, just a little bit of information about us. We are Being Becoming the podcast. We're a weekly podcast. We talk about episodes that have to do really about anything and everything. Like we're talk a little bit about everything, to be honest. But we're always here to help people on their journey to become. We leave that open ended for our audience. So whether you're working on, your spiritual, financial, mental health, whatever journey you're working on, we hope that you're working on the journey to become the best version of yourself. And little caveat, as we always say, we are not experts, but we're both here to do the work and share all of our steps and research and just everything that we've learned from doing the work. So, shout out to all of our homies who are listening. Our homies are our loyal listeners and watchers. Just to kind of catch everybody up, if you've been listening to a few episodes, you've heard us reference that. If you're new, the reason we call you guys our homies is because me and Janelle met at the University of Kentucky. And we actually stayed, when we met, we stayed in Holmes Hall. And that's how we met, in our residence hall. So our friends are our homies. Just reference back to, our history together. So, you guys, it is another late night for me and Janelle doing this podcast. We're trying to get all of this and be consistent with the podcast. So we do it at any time of the day, to be honest. Like when we have time, okay, your schedule free, my schedule is free. Let's go ahead and get this episode recorded. So it's not going to be too long this week, but I do want to talk about the topic that we are discussing. It's something that is near and dear to me because I feel like I went through this journey and I feel like a lot of people should make time and space for this. So, topic for this week is making time for creative expression and outlets. Me and Janelle were briefly talking offline a little bit about the episode topic, and I think it's so important to make time and space to be creative because a lot of people don't realize their full potential. A lot of people are so busy in the grind, in the hustle of everyday life. It's kind of like every day kind of happens. And you're just like, whether you work a 9 to 5 or whatever, you do for a living, you're just doing that. And then when you get home, maybe you just relax and, maybe spend some time with your loved ones. And then you go to sleep and you do the same thing over and over again. You don't have time to have outlets or, have creative expression or space. And all of us are creative in some sense. Me personally, I used to say all the time, because I come from a family who are very, very creative, like jack of all trades, very artistic, can do anything from, if they need to create a canvas to doing hair, to writing a beautiful poem, like very creative family. And I always felt like I wasn't creative. And it wasn't that I wasn't creative. I'm going to be honest. I'm not great at painting. Don't ask me to paint nothing for you or draw. I am not great at doing hair. That's why I have people for that. You will not. I actually, I'm going to be honest. I know how to twist and I know how to plait. I don't know if everybody knows what plaiting is, but that's a form of braiding in a sense, but it's not really. I don't actually know how to braid hair. So that's how much I felt like I was not creative because I felt like I wasn't gifted with those skills. But if you've been listening to the podcast for a while, I took a year off from work and I really tried to figure out what I was supposed to do in life. And within that time frame, I was able to, use some of my creative expressions and outlets and develop more. And me creating that space in that time, I learned what I'm good at. It's not that I'm not creative. People need to stop using that. Everyone is creative in their own sense and in their own way. It's just I didn't have time to develop and encourage and figure out what I was creative in. And now I have. I could talk a lot, and I'll talk a little bit later about what outlets I am creative in and what I feel like I can really bring to the creative space. But yeah, that was just my tangent. But I wanted to say that just so you guys know, like, hey, that's why we're having this conversation. And that's why it's so important to have like that outlet. So I'm gonna pass it to Janelle because I said a lot. So what is your thoughts on today's topic?
Pretty much like you, MB, to be honest. I mean, a lot of people don't make time to be creative because we are dealing with so many life changes and normal day stuff, whether that's cleaning, going to the grocery store, oh, we got
Right.
to go to this doctor's appointment, or oh, we have to go take care of mom, whatever the case may be. You know, people become so busy where they lose track of time. Because let's
Mm-hmm.
just say that we think, oh, we got 24 hours in a day. Don't get me wrong, that's a lot of hours, but at the same time, there's so many things that accumulate all of that time.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to be mindful to set aside time for ourselves and things that we enjoy. It was like a couple months ago. I was still in school, in grad school, and it was a random day, y'all. Random day. Everybody knows I love to paint. That's one thing that I will always go to. Like if I'm feeling down and out, y'all would probably be like, "Oh, she's probably somewhere finna go paint."
Mm-hmm.
I am. So if y'all know the painting with the twist, the classes, y'all. So that's what I do in my little spare time. I actually, take some little funds and be like, oh, I'm gonna do this. It's been a long week. I need to just be by myself, and that's what I do. Um, and don't get me wrong, I'm not like no Picasso or nothing like that, but I am pretty good without needing too much help or direction.
Mm-hmm.
But that's because art has always been a love for me. Because you can get lost in it. And
You can't.
anytime you can get lost in it, I feel like that's always going to be your ground base. And that's also with music. A lot of people didn't know this, but I used to actually write music. Like, yes.
Well, I don't feel
And
like I
people,
didn't know this.
yes, a lot of people did not know that. And so people be like, what? You used to do that? Yes, I actually used to write down lyrics, especially like R&B, y'all. I'm an R&B soul. Everybody knows I'm an old school soul too.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm all about the love notes and, oh, I'm gonna write this. Yeah, that's what that's what my best friend and I we used to do. And that's really how we connected, honestly. So if Trey, you're listening, girl, that's really how we connected was through music. And we were both singers. And as you guys know, when you in a choir, what happens, MB, when you're in a choir?
Girl, I don't know what we referenced to. I don't know. A lot happens.
No. So usually you find yourself having fun outside of the choir. You know what I'm
Oh
saying? And then
yeah, yeah.
y'all be singing random songs that don't got nothing to do with the choir
Girl, all the time. All the
all the
time.
time. And people be like, so y'all think y'all SWV or whatever. Yep, yep. But
Girl, I
yeah.
did not know where you were going with that. I was like, what happens in the choir?
Hold on. Well, gossip happened in the choir too, to be honest. So
Girl,
there's a lot of
yes.
gossip in the choir. I ain't gonna lie.
Girl. That's where the
But
tea
back to
is.
you heard me. But back to this creative piece before we get off topic. But honestly, between art and music, I was able to really lose myself in it.
Mm-hmm.
And through that, you be at peace with a lot of things. You be like, all right, now I can go back and deal with whatever is going on in my world, in my real world, anyway. And so it just creates an outlet, a time for you, a time to get away, and a time to really concentrate on what matters again. So be able to be creative.
Mm-hmm.
I love makeup too, y'all.
I was gonna mention that. I was like, she hasn't hit on the makeup yet.
Yes, I love makeup, dipping and dabbing. Girl, y'all know this thing? These little katana things.
Oh yeah,
You
like the cubby
know,
holes, like the.
little cubby hoes.
Mm-hmm.
I have one that's just full of makeup. And then I have like a little crate drawer that's just all eyeshadow. Just all
Mm-hmm.
eyeshadow. And if anybody knows me, I love makeup. Love it. But again, makeup is all it is art again. And so
Yeah.
you just get to be creative and think of new ideas and be like, you know what, I want to try this out. That's just like the animated characters. That's all makeup. And
Yeah.
that's dope. It's dope. They bring in to life characters, literally,
Mm-hmm.
just through art. Look, I feel like I talked a lot, Envy.
Girl, I felt that's how I felt when we first started. I felt like I talked a lot too, but you really didn't. It all made sense and it flowed very well.
See, see. But y'all, let me just say this: when you guys get into your niche of
Mm,
creativity, not only will it be natural, but then it will also um bring you revenue
Yes.
without even you trying to bring revenue to yourself.
Hmm.
People will pay for your art and your crafts and your creativity. So be purposeful in that by itself, because you never
Hmm.
know what your gifts or your talents will bring you or take you.
Yeah. And another thing I want to mention while you were talking, I was thinking about it. I think a lot of us, when we think of like creative expression, we think of like, I don't want to say the standard, but maybe like some of the, we think about like painting, um, maybe like drawing, acting. Like we
Hmm.
think about more standard things, but creative and artistic or music, but creative and artistic expression goes so much farther outside of what we consider like the arts.
Yeah,
I'll
it
just
definitely does.
personally explain to myself, like, I feel like my creative expression, amongst many things that I can do, I label myself as a connector and a shaper.
Hmm.
And what I mean by that is I can literally see someone, learn a little bit about them, and then tell them what I think, how they would fit into whether it be a company or what their strong suits are and what they can bring to any type of role. Like that's something that I can do just by having like a 5 minute conversation with someone and kind of understanding what they can do. I always know. That's why I was so good when I was in higher ed. I used to like chair committees. The reason I
Hmm.
was so good at chairing committees is because I already knew what each person, like their strong suit would be and what they could
Hmm.
bring to the committee itself. Like I'm not going to ask someone to do something that's not their strong suit, and I can play
Yeah.
and use on that. And the other reason I say I'm a connector is because I truly do like connecting people. It comes very easy to me. Like if I think, hey, I have this friend and this friend, I think they're going to be great together, whether it be, like business associates or just a great vibe or friendship, it comes like it's very easy for me to know what's going to work.
Yeah.
So in a sense, my creative power comes from like my brain power in a sense, if that makes sense. Like I just use a
Hmm.
lot of like I can easily think of situations and how they should go, and that goes right back into my planning. Like I plan for everything. It comes very, very easily for me. I should
And
probably oh, go ahead.
no, continue.
Oh, I was gonna say if I really loved like planning trips like that, I really could be like a trip planner. But I like planning trips for myself, not for other people.
Let me just say this: MB is the best trip planner. Um, she totally is, y'all. Like I second that notion. For my dirty 30, MB is definitely gonna be the person over there. I'm just now like telling her this, so she
Girl,
got
I
some
got
time
you.
though.
I
Look, she got
got
some
you.
time. But she's totally right. Being creative is just not with the arts in itself. And like she was saying, whether that's connecting people or having that gift to be like, you know what, these two things or these two people belong together, it's more than that. Like she just said. Just think about fashion. Have y'all thought about
Mhm.
fashion? Fashion is like the hugest creativity that that is out here in the world. Like for real, for real. Being
Mhm.
able to dress yourself up and really express yourself with fashion. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's dope in itself. But then dreaming. I know it sounds crazy, but dreaming has how can I say it? Dreaming has really helped me manifest some things in both realms of like creativity, but also realistically. Because when you're dreaming about something, it's like, oh, it's ideas just fostering. You get what I'm saying? That's all dreaming is. It's ideas and desires fostering. And so it's just dope how it all comes together because you feel like, dang, I
Yeah.
was dreaming about this and now I'm doing it. Okay, all right. I see you.
Yeah. I completely agree with you. I think being able to have a vision and then somehow being able to bring that to fruition um is crazy and is a gift in itself. Because all of us have ideas. We all of us are thinking 24/7. Like we have so many thoughts. I don't know what the average is, but we have so many thoughts in a day. But being able to see something that you want to achieve and then being able to choose those steps in between truly is a gift because not everyone does it. Some people have these
Hmm.
far-fetched ideas and they get so boggled down by what other people think of them or they have so much self-doubt on their own that they're like, this doesn't make sense. But it takes courage, and then, like I said, overall, it's just a gift to be able to bring it to life.
It really is. It really is. But again, hold on. This is my next piece of creativity. Books, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Books are like a hitting, like, you know what I'm saying, jewel, or look, a gem. It really is a gem. Okay. Simply because not only is a creative piece, again, it's a dream coming into life. It's a story. And all stories, of course, we know the basics of school, you know, the beginning, the middle, and the end, and all that kind of stuff. But even with that, you have to take time to write a book. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Look, I'm just trying to get the message across to the people. It takes time. This book wasn't done in no day. Damn sure wasn't done in a month either. This probably took a year. No lie. And it's a lot that goes into writing a book and getting it published and all of that. And I feel like people just think that, oh, my creativity is just supposed to spark instantly. And you want that instant gratification. And it doesn't happen that way. You know what I'm saying? Again, it's a craft that you have to constantly work on and build up to, donate some hours into. And you really have to stay on task with it and allow yourself that time to do so.
Yes. So let me ask you this, because I was thinking the same thing kind of that you're on. So what are good ways to make time to figure out your creative outlook or your creative expression? Because I said in the beginning, the reason I figured out what I'm good at is because I took a year off and I tried a whole bunch of things. Obviously, everyone can't take a year off. Everyone shouldn't take a year off. So what are some other ways that people can really figure out what they're good at and what their creative expression is?
I feel like hobbies play good role in that. For one, it has to be natural. It should be something that just comes to you instantly without you having to stress over it, without you having to work, super hard for it. It's something that just comes naturally. Like, say for instance, even with the makeup, I've always been a person who can blend colors together and it goes. So just that piece alone, oh, I know that I'm able to blend stuff and it'd be like fire. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
But if you don't have that touch, then it's time for you to, that ain't me. Let me go over here. And I feel like one way to do that is to really sit down and write out what you're good at, what things you can do, your strengths, your weaknesses, and then come to a common ground for one. But one thing I always do to find my center is to journal. And journaling that's also an escape of creativity too. But journaling things, it helps you see everything in a different perspective. And so you're able to really channel and say, hey, I'm good at this. Hey, I'm not good at this. And really find your niche. Am I making sense?
It makes complete sense. It makes complete sense. And those actually, it's funny that you mentioned all those things because that's literally, for me to figure out what I was good at, I tried all of those things that you said. I tried list. I tried to figure out, at the end, that's what I really used was figuring out what comes natural to me. But I tried lists, I tried journaling, like all of that. I think they're good tips because I do think those are many ways that people do find out, like, hey, what comes natural to me? What does my creative outlook or expression look like? It's through those different ways. But I did want to add on, but was there something else you wanted to say before I?
What?
Oh, I don't know. I thought there was something else you were saying. I didn't want to interrupt you.
Yeah, no, hold on. I'm not gonna lie. You know how we both be losing our concentration.
Show do.
What?
Show do. Girl, that's why I don't. You guys can't see this, but I have like a sticky note in front of me. I literally will have to write things down because Janelle will bring something up good, and I'm like, oh shoot, I just thought of that. So if I don't write it down, I'll forget it by the time she's done talking. And I'm like, I don't know what I was gonna say something, but I don't know what it was I was gonna say next. But what I wanted to mention was, again, I think what you mentioned with the journaling, with the, taking time to figure out what you're good at, and then the notes is really good. I do that all the time. Another suggestion I want to add to the notes thing is, and I don't know if other people do this. Sometimes when I'm trying to think of an idea or a concept, I literally write the alphabet down, and I write what comes first to mind for each letter. So like A, I might write apple comes first to mind. B, I might write bath. C, I might write cat. And then I just run down. Usually it's more topic centered. So I'll write words that go under a topic. But that sometimes helps me come up with like my best type of ideas. Because whatever comes top of mind based off of the topic and in the letter of the alphabet.
That's different, MB. I like that. I really do.
But what I was going to mention after that was another thing that I really do, and this really is what helped me, was, shoot, I had it written down and now I can't read my handwriting, y'all. Oh, I got it. I scratched it out on accident. Trying different things. I cannot tell you that year of me not working, just because I wasn't working to get paid did not mean I was not working. Your girl is out here working. I just wasn't getting a paycheck for it. So I don't know if I've ever mentioned this on the podcast. I may have. I know Janelle, I think you know this. Before I really got into like real estate, which I'm at now, which I totally think I'm doing, like, I'm using all the skills that I previously used. Like, I have to plan. There's like so much stuff that I have to do. I have to connect people. Like, and it's a great job for me because I use a skill set that I'm great at. But before I got to that, I tried many things. I tried an event business company. I had a full LLC. Had an event planned. Then COVID hit, and it was like, maybe that's not the right time. Not that this isn't something maybe I can come back to in the future, because I do really still like event planning. It may just look a little bit different in the future for me. I'm not going to go into detail, but it may look a little bit different for me. Tried that, didn't work. Tried YouTube, like solely trying to be a YouTuber, not just, putting my podcast episodes on there, but trying to be a YouTuber. Not, again, that might not be something I do in the future or some other, video streaming platform. But yeah, it wasn't right for me. I felt like you had to keep up with a specific demand. I felt like for me personally, I didn't want it to be inauthentic. So a lot of people were asking for like couple videos and pranks. My husband's not the type of husband you can do pranks on. He is very funny, but he does not, when I'm trying to prank him, he does not find it that humorous. So it wasn't going to work for us. So I figured out like, hey, yeah, that's not the best. Then I started this podcast. This podcast has been something that I've loved. I loved when I was able to add Janelle on it. And it just comes kind of natural to us. It does not kind of, it comes natural to us. We literally jump on here and can't think about what we're going to talk about and then randomly have a conversation. And it ends up being helpful, and it ends up coming out very authentic, and it flows very well. So this is something that comes super natural to us, just having, girl chat in a sense, and talking about topics that matter.
Like today.
Yes. Today
this
was a
top of the dome, y'all.
Yes.
Top of the dome.
We did not prepare. We literally,
2 seconds
before I pushed the record button. Does this topic sound good? Okay, let's just talk about this. Sounds good to me. Let's start. Record. It's literally what happened.
But we dump like this.
But yeah, I say all that to just like try different things, you guys. Not everything's gonna work out. You're gonna learn things from trying things. Like, I learned so much in trying to start like my first business. Things that I'm gonna continue to take into my future in the business that I'm in right now. I met so many different people that I've been able to use in different scenarios and who have become friends. And it's just been amazing. Like, it's been a journey. Not every moment has been perfect. I do want to highlight that. There's been some crazy moments. There's been some moments where I'm like, I just want to give up. I don't even know. Let me just go back to this 9 to 5 I was working. And again, nothing wrong with a 9 to 5. You can still have creative expression in your 9 to 5, and you can still have creative expression outside of it. Like, there's nothing wrong with keeping a 9 to 5. Just wasn't great for me personally, but to each his own. So definitely, you can make time for it. Just do it. Like, whether you have some time before work, after work, during work, because your girl used to have time during work. I'll just let you guys in on a little secret. Your girl, when I used to work at my job, Lord willing, he's never gonna send me back to higher ed, so this ain't gonna hurt me. But your girl would be in there watching YouTube videos all the time at work, just YouTubing it up. Like, that, I would be doing my work, but it wasn't a lot that I had to do, and I had systems in place. Again, I'm a planner, so I had systems in place to do the stuff that I needed to do. So your girl was up on their YouTube about 4 out of the 8 hours I had to be there that day.
And not 4.
Girl, yes. And when they come into my office, pause. Did you need something? Is there something I can help you with? And have a short conversation. Back to YouTube.
God, I could never. Look, all I get is a planning period. But let me just say this, y'all. It's very important to don't think of everything as it's going to happen all together at one time. Think of a painting, all right? Think of a canvas, right? When you're painting, you just don't focus on one thing, right? Or one item of that picture. You focus on the whole entire landscape. So what I'm saying is, don't get so lost and focus on just one particular thing. Focus on the whole entire picture. What are you trying to get? What are you trying to attain? What is your message of this creativity piece? And put it all together. That is what a picture is. Hell, that is what a puzzle is. You just don't focus on one piece. You focus on the whole entire piece so you can build it all together. And so it comes naturally and it flows very well. That's all creativity is.
The analogy queen. I swear, that's why I'm labeling you now. The analogy queen, because you stay having a good analogy for each episode.
Look, do I?
Yes, every time.
Hold on, we need to start documenting these.
Girl, I'm gonna do a YouTube video just all your analogies. It's gonna be like 30 different analogies just lined up of each episode.
Wow. Hold on, let me just say this, yeah. Sometimes I do not be paying attention or realizing that I'm doing this until MB mentions it. Okay. But it's very good because then y'all know I gotta think things through. MB knows this. I am a critical thinker. I have to make sense of things before I'm even able to speak on certain stuff because I'm like, MB knows me, y'all. She definitely knows me. But I mean, for real, I'm a person where I have to think of everything and really see it as a whole picture first before jumping into it. And let me just say that it's very important that you guys do that, even in personal matters. Like we were just talking about this before we hopped on here. Sometimes I have to stop myself. You get what I'm saying? So I can see the clear picture. Oh, well, if you do this, then this is gonna happen.
Right.
Or don't act like this because then you're gonna go back to a place you don't want to go to. So it's very important that you look, hey, this is what's going on. Remember, look at that picture where you're trying to get, y'all. Look at that picture because each thing that you do is going to dictate whether that picture is complete or blank, in a sense.
I love it. I love it. I think you done wrapped up the episode. The only other thing I want to mention is everyone is creative. All of us have some sense of creativity. It just takes time for you to figure out what that is, and for you to, be happy and figure out what you enjoy. But all of us, there's not one person on this earth that's not a creative or has some type of creative expression or can have a creative outlet. You just got to figure out what it is.
And
And take your
and I
time.
second that. Yep, take your time. Let me just say this, y'all. This is the last piece. Don't be looking at anybody else's gifts. Focus on your gift. Don't be no copycat. Be the original copy. And that's it.
I love it. I love it. That's a great lasting piece. So you guys, like we said, that was it. So we wrapping it up. Thank you again to our homies. If this was your first time listening, you are now a part of the homie crew. You have been inducted.
Yes.
So we appreciate you. We hope to see you guys next week. Just a reminder, episodes drop every Thursday. I try to get them up before 5 p.m. Eastern time. I've been doing a little bit better, so pat on the back for me. But as always, if you want to engage with us a little bit more, going over to Becoming Podcast on IG. Me and Janelle, you stay in the DMs too, don't you?
I stay in the DMs.
Girl,
I might not post anything, but I do stay in the DMs.
Girl, same. I try to post. I don't be posting. I post my story. My story be popping. I just don't be posting on my actual IG page. My story be popping, so definitely check it out, you guys. But like I said, becoming podcast on IG. It's late. I told you guys we had to get this in like late at night. It is time for me to wrap it up and go to sleep. But if you want to follow me personally, you can follow me at I'm Just MB on Instagram.
And you can follow me at Beautiful J as well as Instagram.
See, this is how you know it's late, because we get slap happy. And as always, again, we thank you guys so much for watching and listening, and we will see you guys next week.
All right, homies, we're out.